and I'll share that out. So this is welcome to our Fenland, and this time we're going around the room on Zoom, which sounds catchy, doesn't it? And it's an opportunity to check in with each other and share news and bring each other up to date on the latest.
Is this?
What was that, Louise? You've got your mic's off, Louise. I don't know if you wanted to say something. So we'll go around the group and we can update each other and share our news. And first of all, it'd be great to hear from Magda, because it sounds like really good things are starting to happen that are brand new in the life of Cambridge Community Arts or Creative Fenland. So take as much time as you like, Magda. Say hello, tell us about yourself and what you're going to be doing or started to do in Fenland. Over to you.
Hello. Yeah, so please bear with me, because it's my second week in the job. Yeah, hit the ground running. And yes, we have lovely courses starting on the 6th of June in that week, and they will take 7 weeks. And there's a mixture of face-to-face and online courses, and there's 10 of them all together, so quite a lot. And we have, for example, painting, experimenting with colors and mixed media, trying various printing techniques, and there's art journaling, there's creative writing, and there's just drawing with just simple pencils. So for people who don't want to get overwhelmed with other things. So yes, there's quite a big range of possibilities. What's important, I think, is that we changed the sort of name of the project. So we're still under the Cambridge Community Arts, but the project itself is called Creative Fenland rather than Fenland Community Arts, because apparently it was a bit confusing between the two. Yes, and CCA wants that project to gain sort of its own personality. so it will be probably slightly different with time to how things are run in Cambridge, just to adjust to what our communities need. So we have a website. So I think I will be able to share the details, yes, the links and so on with John. And
yeah. Do you want to show us the website on your screen or not?
Okay. Let me see. Okay, we can try that. Sorry, I've just got way too many things opened at once. Share screen. Okay, don't know if you can see it.
Yes, that looks lovely.
So yeah, so here's our courses, and there's, you just click that to apply, and there's our new logo for the project, Creative Fenland, and the address is creativefenland.org.uk. So
and who can access the courses, Magda? Who can access
so it's
the courses?
it's open to everyone with the priority given to people who are unemployed and who have mental health needs of any kind. So we don't check diagnosis or anything like that, but it's just because, you know, being creative can sort of unlock the person from being this, you know, stuck in some you know, difficult feelings like depression or anxiety, and all the tutors are well prepared to support the learners. We all the team makes sure everyone feels welcome and knows what to expect, and there's me and so will be here in the area available to as well to support the learners.
You're not based anywhere, is that right, Magda?
We don't have a base.
You're mobile at the
no.
moment, right?
Yeah, so we working from home, and sometimes Cambridge office, and yeah, between the venues. So the courses, the face-to-face ones, will take place in Wisbech and in March for the moment. So we're hoping to expand that to yeah, perhaps Chatteris, we can see. Yeah.
How exciting.
In the future.
Really exciting.
Yeah.
Have you had interest so far? Have you had people coming forward?
Yes, yep. We have. Yeah, we have some bookings for all of them. Some are more popular than others. So, but yeah, so it's still. Obviously, we have a sort of minimal number of participants to start them. So please do share with your networks, because it would be a shame not to run them when we have opportunity to do so. So
is it weekday, Magda? Sorry, is it weekday? Nothing at the weekends, or?
Yeah, we don't have anything on the weekends now. So the timings are we have the morning ones start 10:30 and to 1:30, and then there's the afternoon ones 1:30 to 4:30. So that's no, there's one that's 2:30 to 4:30. Yeah. So that's the general outline, but all the information is on the website. Okay.
Fabulous. Thank you. Yes.
So thank you very much. I think that's it, unless there's any questions.
Any questions, anyone?
I think I'll stop sharing now. Okay.
Well, good luck with everything. It's a new thing, isn't it? So that's exciting.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we had some courses. The CCA had courses before in Fenland, and but then there was some problem with funding, I think, and now we can restart. So, and the difference being as well, there will be 2 of us here, so that makes it you know, easier for us to be supportive to the learners as well.
Magda, can people self-refer to you, or have you got a way you know, like I could refer clients to you? How would I do that?
Yes, so that there's this just this button on the website that they can click on and self-refer. Yes. So,
Okay.
Mhm.
I didn't see that. That's great. Thanks.
Yeah. So. Mhm.
Thank you. And just to say that what we're doing now, Anna, is we're just going around the group and sharing whatever it is we want to share. We do also record this, and then it's available to people who can't be here today. And there's a fair number of those. Okay, Louise, hello. Have you thought of something now?
Desperately going, when's that happening? I'm sorry, I'm so totally unprepared for this. I just thought I better come because I haven't been for so long. I'm Louise Aldridge from Cambridgeshire Libraries. I'm the Library Development Officer for Fenland, Cambs, and I'm the children's specialist for the county. So I'm not so good at grown-up things. So I'm desperately trying to think what we're doing in the area. Basically, libraries have been identified as places to come. We have a big push to wellbeing agenda. What I was trying to find out about is we've recently set up kind of coffee mornings where I think probably mostly older people that feel a little bit isolated could just come along. There's a member of staff there. Sometimes it's a paid member of staff, sometimes a volunteer, and they can just chat. They could just chat. They have someone, because when we went to self-issue machines where you can issue and return your books, the biggest thing that we lost, it was great, it was more efficient, blah, blah. Thing we lost is that rapport. And a lot of people said that was, you know, we were the only people they talked to all week. And even if it was just a little bit of chat about the weather and what they've been reading, it was contact. So belatedly, because we've had self-issue a long time, we're trying to put that opportunity back into place. So we have these come along and chat. And I think we've got the hot water jug out and some tea and coffee, and just making a space. We made a space for mummies that a lot of them had their babies in lockdown. They wanted safe spaces to come and just be with other adults who were in 3 dimensions and not on the screen. And we've called those happy baby hours. And they're happening in all the libraries in Fenland, Cambs as well. So we're trying each end of the age spectrum to just make spaces for people to just be in the library. People have always been able to walk into the library and just be. We have furniture that they can sit on, but some people don't feel, they think they should be doing something. Well, I want the message to go out. They don't have to be doing something necessarily. So we've made some spaces where they feel they can come and they've been invited. So I will try and send through John the details of when they're happening, in which library and what time. So that's kind of our more general offer. I may have spoken to this before. We have collections called Reading Well collections, which the reading agency had put together on many topics, including mental health. We have them supporting people with dementia. We have ones that help children and teenagers explore, books that help them explore how they're feeling. We've always done that with our new experience collections. You know, the first time you go to the doctors, the dentist, the babysitter comes along, you start school. But it's getting more and more. My grandma has Alzheimer's, and I've got two mums. Or there's a lot more. It's amazing what picture books are beautiful stories, but they just happen to be about non-traditional family situations. So the Reading Well collections pull those together, along with our empathy collection for adults, which is really, really thinking fantastic stories that happen to explore how you're feeling about things, or how a character, usually an animal, so you kind of not feeling too directly, actually experiences where they are. So we have a book offer, we have a space offer, we have something called Read a Little Aloud, which is just coming out of being online and coming into libraries, where literally you come and listen to an extract of a story, short story, a poem, and with staff having a whale of a time because they get to think about books. So they'll just share that. And actually, I don't know if you feel this way, but actually just listening So somebody reading to you can be very cathartic and just really, really lovely for your mental health. We've always had collections of mood boosting books, because books can take you places that you maybe don't want to go, or you'll never have the chance to go, but it can take you out of yourself. And something that's such a, solitary activity, it's amazing where it can take you. So yes, spaces, resources and activities where people can just come and do something else. And we do have, and we're going to have a little bit of a gap. We've just, our What's On in Cambridgeshire Libraries has just finished in April. There'll be a new one out in July for the summer reading challenge and all the summer events, but it will have things for grown-up people as well. So keep an eye out for that. And our library.live What's On online, if you go in there, you'll see the sorts of things that we've got on in libraries. Yes, please don't forget libraries. We may be buildings with books in, but we are actually very friendly, nice buildings with very useful and enjoyable books in, and a whole e-offer, so you can just listen to ebooks and e-audio and magazines. You read newspapers in lots of different languages. In fact, we're putting together our support for yes, I can hear a voice in the background, it's not me. We're putting together our support for the waves of refugees are coming in. Obviously, the Ukrainians are the latest. So just get in touch with me if you think the library can facilitate something.
I love your passion. I love your passion, Louise.
I love my library.
Fantastic.
I love what we do.
And libraries are warm, Louise. Libraries are warm spaces. People are hard up and energy is costing a lot, and they're nice, warm, friendly spaces to be.
We have always been that.
Kind to you.
Yeah, always remember Eric Blair or George Orwell talking about Wigan Public Library, which and he'd come in there because he couldn't afford to heat his own house. He'd come in, read the newspapers. We don't have so many physical newspapers anymore, which is very sad. But we do have plenty of books. Come and explore.
Thanks, Louise. Thanks for sharing.
I like the reading aloud. Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, I find that very, very soothing. Listening to throughout the lockdown. Yeah, just hearing someone's voice telling a story is just such a good thing for well-being.
It does take it out of yourself, which is one of the functions of reading, which is why it seemed to support good mental health, because you can experience things vicariously, or you can just go to a completely fictional fantasy place. It's very good.
Okay, thank you, Louise. Let's move across now to Cate. Hi, Cate. How's Care Network?
Hi everyone, Care Network's very well, thank you very much. So I work for Care Network on the Wellbeing service. So we have 3 wellbeing services that we're running. Trusted Friends. This is a service for people who may have lost some confidence going out and about in the community. And we have our lovely volunteers that will do all sorts of things to help promote confidence in our clients. So it could be going for a walk in the park, or it could be going for a walk around the shops, anything like that. Our trusted volunteers can do. At the moment, we're really, really short of volunteers in the Fenland area. So we're particularly looking for volunteers. So if you come across anybody who would like that sort of role, then don't hesitate to get in touch, and I'll put the details in the chat in a minute. And then we have a check and chat service, which is for people who may not be able to get out and about to meet people and are feeling isolated at home. And we also have volunteers who can phone clients up for time limited. It's only for about 6 to 8 weeks, but you know, it does help boost people's well-being and helps people to discuss ideas that they can do for themselves.
You muted yourself, Cate.
How did I do that? That happened itself by magic. Yeah, community navigators well-being as well, where we work a little bit for a longer period of time with people who would like some support with their mental health and their well-being. And the main thing at the moment is we're looking for those volunteers. So if anybody hear of anybody who would like that sort of role, please get in contact. I haven't got anything else to really update at the moment. So that's it from me. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cate. Thank you for everything that you do with your service.
Oh, that's
found it to be so valuable. You know.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Great. Okay, Rebecca. Yeah, go on,
Sorry,
Jack.
I've just got a quick question for Cate. Is there any wait-in times for any of the services at the minute, or if somebody does get referred to any of those services?
There'll be, at the moment, we haven't. So if you've got anybody in mind, just send them over. We'll triage them and we'll have a chat with them and see which of these services would best suit their needs. And then they can just slot in straight away. At the moment, that's how it is at the moment.
Thank you. Rebecca, do come in. Hi.
Hi, I'm Bex. I work for the Papworth Trust. I've been delivering over the last 2 years. I've worked for Papworth for nearly 10 years. Most of that time has been on work-related supported employment projects, mostly programmes that are DWP centred, so the work and health programme, the work programme. Over the last 2 years, though, I have been funded to deliver a very unique support service in Cambridgeshire in Peterborough. It's called First Steps to Success. People refer to me from, it can be professional, say from social care departments through to schools, colleges. It is to support people with neurodiversity that comes primarily out of either having a learning disability or autistic spectrum sort of associations. So unlike the job centre who refer people to these employability programs because they're unemployed, people are referred to me because they have a learning disability and or autism. And as we know, very commonly, people, particularly with autism, do tend to suffer from poor mental health on occasions. And the two tend to go hand in hand. So most of my customers, it's been so well received just because I work with the families as well as just the customers. So it's a whole kind of thing that I offer. So it's meant to be about getting them into work. But from all the referrals that I've had over the last couple of years, including those in lockdown, actually sometimes that's the last. That's not even an outcome for some people. So my outcomes are really soft. I'm not paid, I'm not target driven, I'm not given that, as in I'm not paid to get results. That isn't the basis of it. The basis is to move people into independence economically and socially, whatever that might look like for that person. No person's journey typically is the same as another's. So what I tend to, when I go to these meetings, what I tend to do is say I've come with two hats really, and that is if anybody has people that have those kind of needs and need some support or some assistance to kind of navigate getting out there and maybe being part of their community, I'm here to do that. But also if anybody has any volunteering opportunities, typically around admin, IT, but not necessarily things like being a care navigator, because that would actually be, for some people, the support that they might need themselves. So, but if anybody also has any ideas on how I can offer support to those people that may be looking to do some volunteering or do something. I know the courses I'm going to look at as well, Magda, because I think I've got a couple of people in Wisbech certainly that are very reluctant to go out, but would possibly do some online stuff if it was sort of creative. So I will look at those courses. But if anybody either wants to refer to me, people can self-refer as well. So if you've got a parent of somebody that you might be supporting and they would be interested in hearing about how we can do this. I used to cover the whole of the county. I now cover Fenland, East Cambridgeshire, Cambridge City and South. And my colleague Madeline Quinn covers Peterborough and Huntingdonshire. And that's me.
In terms of people with autism, have they got to have a diagnosis?
No, that's the other beauty of it. I think there's such a focus on having a diagnosis, and sometimes people have presented with mental health issues, and then it's been realised that possibly the reason for their mental health issues is that they, you know, have got autism, and some people have not even had their diagnosis until they're in their 40s. So yeah, no, if somebody presented with traits, and also, you know, it's all about neurodiversity, and mental health is often a sort of hidden disability that is much more related to the neurodiverse things than it is to any kind of physical stuff.
And Jack, you mentioned volunteer opportunities.
Yeah, at Bernardo's, they can do kind of all sorts with Bernardo's, everything from, you know, gardening to, you know, probably admin. So I don't know if I can link you in with James. Have you met James already? Yeah. Obviously there's Tina at Care Network, the volunteer coordinator. They can work really flexibly with what the volunteers can do, what they enjoy, how much time they can have, the fact that they might not be able to do 4 hours every week, but actually some weeks they might be able to do pockets of time, and other weeks they might not be as well. So Tina will work really flexibly with the volunteers at Care Network. CPFT, we've got a range of opportunities to volunteer. There's somewhere else I was going to mention as well. It's People and Animals. So they have their sessions at the Oasis Centre in Wisbech, and they call them Volunteers and Friends. So people can volunteer and help out officially, but actually people might want to go along and just help out, and they don't quite ready for that title of volunteer. So their sessions that they run at the Oasis Centre are a nice way in of just being part of something, potentially helping out and run some of the things, but without that label of being a volunteer. But yeah, they call them Volunteers and Friends. So that might be kind of opportunities that might sort of fit really with sort of the people that you're working with. And the other people to potentially link in with, if you've not already, is the CP Learning Trust. So because they've got a program that's, I think, for people who are just working towards employment. They might be far away, and they might not have some of the same challenges as yours in terms of neurodiversity, but they might be in the same place in terms of how far they are from the labour market. And so there might be some learning opportunities for your customers, but as well, you know, some opportunities that they know about that probably fit both your customers and theirs. So they might be useful connecting with.
Yeah, thank you. That would be really good.
One thing we're thinking of doing, so I was at the Southend Business Centre where Care Network are based.
Oh, I know.
And actually what I realised is we've got loads of great organisations there. So there's Care Network, CP Learning Trust, P3, Age UK, the social prescribers, all in that building. And I think what we noticed is they don't know each other. So I think even within that building, we could have like a networking like coffee morning where the professionals will just get together and meet each other and form those connections, because yeah,
That would be really great.
Yeah, so I mentioned that to Azander, and like I say, so I'd gone and met Tina the other day at Care Network to talk about volunteering, which is why I know a lot about the opportunities. But then we next door but one, I think, with a CP Learning Trust. So we literally just knocked on the door and was like, "Hello, can we introduce ourselves?" And so yeah, we probably just need like some informal opportunities like that people can just drop in, have a coffee. You know, and just get to say hello to each other. So yeah, if we get anything organised, we'll probably sort of extend the invite. But I think even just that building as a start has got so many great organisations there, and it just seems a shame that we don't all know each other personally when they could probably work together quite a lot.
Where is that, Jack? Where is it based?
Southend's Business Centre in Chatteris.
Chatteris. Oh yes, you said.
It's like it's a huge building, lots of rooms. I think lots of people are still working from home and stuff, but actually there's some big organisations there that are doing quite a lot. So it's always useful when I pop in and I just knock on different people's doors and say hello and just remember me, I'm still here. Are
there any kind of communal spaces there? The only reason I say that is I'm quite community based, and I do have some customers in Chatteris, and I really find it difficult to find somewhere in Chatteris to meet them, as I'm not allowed to go into the homes particularly.
I mean, there's the libraries. The libraries is a good space and quite local, and I'm sure Louise will talk to you about costs and things like that if you wanted private rooms. At the Southend Visitor Centre, it's a bit out of town, but there is meeting rooms and stuff there that you can book as well. But yeah, I think the libraries is always a good shout.
Yeah, by all means, get in touch and we'll give you our rates.
But I bet there's places. I've not actually been to Chatteris Library yet. I do need to go, but yeah.
There's always a plus.
But yeah, I'm sure there's spaces to just kind of go and sit and have a chat if it's nothing.
If it's just something you want to chat, it's a public space and we'll let anybody in. So please do go and have a chat in a corner.
I will do. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Bex. And that's First Steps to Success. The name of the project. Thanks for putting it in the chat bar. Do use the chat bar if you want to share additional information, contact details, and so on. Make use of that while we're talking, please. That'd be great. Okay, Kim. Hi, Kim. How are things?
Hi, everyone. Good, thank you. I work for Choices Counselling. So we provide long-term counselling for adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse. We are just waiting on the outcome of a funding bid that will enable us to offer a couple more options for support to our clients on our horrendously long waiting list. We've over the last couple of years been able to offer 6 symptom management sessions to all waiting list clients who wanted them. They are psychoeducational sessions that look at the effects of trauma on the brain and the body, and also sort of tools and techniques to help to manage common symptoms of PTSD. We're going back to a face-to-face offering of our survivor and supporter workshops. So they are for people on our waiting list and family member or a friend. Take place on a Saturday from 10 till 3 with lunch. And they're very similar, offering psychoeducation and kind of tools and techniques for managing common symptoms. We're also hoping to introduce a bi-monthly psychoeducational group, which will expand on some of the material covered in the symptom management sessions and the survivor and supporter workshops. Our waiting list, which was horribly long anyway, has unfortunately got longer through the pandemic, because we rely primarily on volunteer counsellors, and several of the counselling courses that we normally would recruit from have not been running. So we're kind of down on recruitment of volunteers, but we've just finished one of our 6-day counsellor trainings, and we have another one due to start in October, I think. So hoping to recruit more counsellors from there.
Thanks, Kim. Are you based in particular places in Fenland, Kim? I know you've not been working as much face to face because of the pandemic, but for you to find you anywhere, as it were.
Yeah, at the moment in Fenland and Peterborough, we have a little bit of face-to-face work that's been happening in Peterborough. Nothing yet in Fenland and Wisbech in March. I didn't actively pursue anything when people gave me suggestions before, because at that point I didn't have counsellors who were ready to go back to face-to-face. I've got a couple now who are kind of tentatively saying yes, they would like to, so I do need to kind of more actively start looking for venues for face-to-face counselling.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks for being here. It's always good to have you here with us and sharing something about the work that you do. It makes a difference to have you with us, Kim. Thanks for being here. Okay, Anna. Hello, Anna. Want to tell us a little bit about yourself, your role, as it were, and a little bit about your service?
Hello, everybody. I'm Anna. I'm the new support worker taking over from Faye Wright, along with my colleague Natalie at the Cambridge Women's Resource Centre. I'm sure you'll be aware of us already, but we're a women's only service based in Cambridge, but we also have a centre in Peterborough as well. And between the two services, we kind of cover all of Cambridgeshire and Peterborough. So I'm a support worker, so we offer one-to-one support sessions. Because of our main sort of funding stream at the moment, the sort of outcome that we are kind of meant to be working towards is employability with our service users, but we understand that what that looks like for people, again, you know, that encompasses, you know, housing and mental health and physical health and well-being and trauma and, you know, everything. So, you know, we work on with people on any kind of issues that affect women, any sort of vulnerabilities there. So yeah, myself and my colleague Natalie are available for one-to-one support sessions. We also have summer timetable, which I can email anyone who's interested. I haven't actually found a way of putting it in the chat yet. I'm sorry about that. I'm not as good at these things as my admins are.
Send it. If you send it to me, I'll circulate it.
Perfect. That would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you. So at the moment we have, with the centre is closed on Mondays. On Tuesdays we have walking group between 11 and 12. We have Stitching Our Planet Together, which is like a sewing kind of artistic textile course. That started on the 19th of April and is running to the 5th of July between 2 and 4. We have the coffee mornings, again, which is just a kind of general place for people to be in a sort of like-minded environment, but then that is facilitated by a support worker. So if anybody kind of needs to sort of you know, talk about other stuff that they've got going on with them and potentially book in a one-to-one support session or need signposting to any of the groups and courses we do, then that's, you know, that's an option. but it's a good way for people to just kind of have, you know, kind of come and see us where we are and what we do, as it's a good first step for people. And that's actually really undersubscribed at the moment, I think due to just kind of restarting again after the pandemic. So the kind of, apparently before I joined here and before the pandemic, there was quite a good strong group going, and quite a lot of regular people. It's getting quite busy, and then that kind of carried on to online for a while, but it hasn't quite transitioned back into a physical group again. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind circulating the timetable, that would be great, because you know, we kind of have that available and it's not massively being used. But I think we talked about in I think there's a few familiar faces here from the Cambridge Mental Health Network meeting of actually a lot of us are kind of offering the same stuff in terms of the coffee mornings, which is great. It's great that there's so many of these things available, but I think sometimes maybe it's almost spoiled for choice for service users. So yeah, but that would be great to kind of raise a bit more awareness of that. And that's 11 to 12 on Wednesdays. We've got an art group, which is a drop-in thing, and that's Thursdays between 12:30 and 2:30. That's really nice. It's all really laid back and informal, and it, you know, it's quite nice for people dealing with stuff. You know, don't always want the commitment of kind of like it's a group and you've got to attend every week, or it's this number, you know. So we find the drop-in stuff works quite nicely, and it varies a lot week to week how many people. Sometimes it's absolutely rammed, and then sometimes it's just a couple of people. But I think it's nice for people to have that option, because you know, it does depend on where they're at with their mental health and things, and just life situations as to whether they can attend. And the people, our volunteers that facilitate the courses, you know, they kind of have a briefing. They know that they're working with vulnerable women and stuff like that. So, you know, it's all very nice and relaxed and supportive. Then on Fridays, we have 2 courses. We have Freedom Programme, which is for female victims of domestic violence. And that is also kind of being run, the new model is being run on a drop-in basis. Well, it's on a rolling basis, so you know, it's really useful if someone can kind of attend the full course, but instead of how it previously has been run, where there's sort of like a start date and a finish date, it's just on Fridays and it keeps going, and you can kind of join at any point, except for there's a couple of sessions where we don't allow people to drop in for the first time, and that's where we're discussing sexual violence or how domestic abuse affects children. That's just because they're such heavy sessions, they're not good ones to start on. But other than that, people can come, and yeah, and that's a really we see it's such a helpful thing for people. The difference you see in women from when they start the Freedom Programme to when they leave is quite remarkable. And then in the afternoons of that, we have Healing Trauma, which is, as it sounds, you know, again, we're not therapists, but it's a sort of therapeutic peer support group / information course kind of thing, about the effects of trauma that may be. And sometimes a lot of people have got, you know, kind of like complex, a lot of different traumas, and what that looks like, how that affects us mind, body and life. And again, I can't recommend that one highly enough. It's absolutely wonderful. But that one isn't a drop-in thing, again, because it's sort of, I would say it goes slightly deeper than Freedom Programme. And so that one, people do need to kind of call or email us and get booked in. And there is a little bit of a waiting list, but it's not a lot kind of thing. With those types of things, off the top of my head, I can't tell you how long, but we can generally fit people in quite quickly with that. So that's what we've got going on at the moment. And yeah, I will send you that if that's okay. And if you're happy to circulate Timetable, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Thanks for sharing all of that. It sounds fantastic, and such a variety of options. Yeah. I was talking to someone in Royston, a woman in Royston. I didn't know what she was in such a way that I felt like a group such as your group might be a good connection for her to make. But she lives in Royston. She lives in Royston. I don't know what there is out there or that she could connect with. Just as an example of how we might connect people to you, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that without Royston either myself actually yet, because I'm quite new to the role. I'm still discovering what we have out there. So sometimes if I'm not sure, I had to go to my boss or my colleague who I'm handing over from and be like, you know, anything Royston, because I haven't heard of anything yet. So I don't know off the top of my head, but by all means, drop me an email with the sort of support that she's looking for, and I can do.
I could send her a link to or a copy of your timetable, and then she can look, can't she? Yeah,
that'd be great. Thank you.
Anna, thanks for that. It's lovely to hear about the work that you're doing. Thank you very much. And last but not least, Jack. Hello.
Hello. Nice to see everyone. A little smaller group than usual, but it's actually quite nice, isn't it? You get a bit more kind of time and sort of to be able to focus on what people are talking about, really. I'm super busy. Like, I don't know, everybody seems really busy at the minute, but I just can't keep on top of everything. A lot more kind of face-to-face stuff going on, which is fantastic because I am a face-to-face person rather than everything being kind of digital. So to be able to go and meet people at coffee mornings and groups and stuff, it just feels really nice. So I guess a few updates of kind of some of the new ones. So there is now a repair CAF in Wisbech at the Etc. Community Hub. That runs the first Wednesday of every month, but it might be weekly soon, I'm not sure, but they've only committed to the first Wednesday of the month. People can take along things that they want repaired or want to learn how to repair, you know, small electrical things, that kind of stuff. They're also running some craft sessions at the Etc. Hub. They're Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. They're weekly. People can just drop into those. They don't need to be booked into either of those. Rima from Care Network has set up an English language CAF in Wisbech. That's at the Trinity Methodist Church. And that's for just people that just want to practice English informally. So English can be the first language, but if it's not, you know, they can pop along to the cafe. It's fortnightly on a Tuesday, so I think it was today, so it'll be a fortnight from today from 10 till 12 at the Trinity Methodist Church. But yeah, people can just drop into that and just chat to other people. That's new. So yeah, lots of things going on at Wisbech at the minute. And then a couple of other things that I thought might be useful to know. So I recently engaged it is a business, but you know, the women behind it have kind of set it up because it's actually really what they're passionate about and they want to do. So they're running some respite wellbeing sessions for people living with dementia and memory problems over in Whittlesea, and I think, you know, they plan to kind of run more of those, and they are paid for. It's £45 for a 4-hour session, but that's still quite considerably cheaper than people paying sort of £25 for an hour for care like they would do. But they also run a monthly kind of friends united session where people can just get together. Sometimes they go for lunch, sometimes they go you know, local museum or something that's on, but the group kind of decides, and they run that monthly, and that's free for people to go to as well. I'll put some of the links to these in the chat so people have got those. But yeah, carers, especially the dementia stuff, is what a lot of people seem to be looking for at the minute. You know, dementia friendly CAFs, you know, places that they can go, and places that the carers can go with them as well, and, you know, have a little break and talk to other people. But actually, you know, the person with dementia or memory problems, it's kind of sit and, you know, chat to other people as well. So, you know, it's something social, but they kind of get a little bit of a break as well. So if anybody does know or hear of any more like that, if you could let me know, that would be great, because I know lots of the social prescribers are looking for stuff like that at the minute. Some other kind of updates is, so we recently as a team did the Stop Suicide training with run by CPSL Mind. It was a really great session, actually. Thought it'd be really heavy going, but the trainer was brilliant. They just framed it all in such a great way. You know, it's called Stop Suicide Training, but actually it's just about people treating humans as humans, and looking at people as struggling with emotional pain, and kind of dealing with that, and then some bit about sort of safety planning, and supporting people with that. So it's a 3-hour session. I think it's well worth doing, and so I know they're wanting to connect with lots of other organisations as well to deliver that training too, and I think they will be delivering some kind of public facing sessions on that as well. But if that's one that teams haven't been on, we'd highly recommend that. And as well, recently I did one of the GamCare women's related harmed gambling sessions. Again, that one's a 2-hour session. Sarah, who runs it, is brilliant. Again, I think probably both of those sessions should be part of all our inductions. There's some really kind of good skills in there, but especially with the gambling one, of just realizing how many people it impacts, you know, the unseen people, you know, so every one problem gambler, it probably impacts between 6 and 10 other people. So just going on for training for that, I think is a really kind of useful tool. And you know, I think it's probably worth organisations as well start asking questions about that. You know, people have had problems gambling, and they've got a great question of how people can approach it in the training as well. So that's another session if people haven't managed to get on one of those yet. Or get, you know, Sarah will come in and do bespoke things for teams, ranging from an hour to like full-day sessions. So yeah, I'll find those for you, Anna, and I can send those details over. So yeah, I thought they were a couple of great like little training sessions that we've done, and lots of our team as well. They aren't clinical people, so you know, they don't come with that knowledge, and I think for them as not being clinical people, they found it really useful as well, and it was really accessible and not too daunting and not too challenging. So I'd highly recommend those, and maybe, you know, potentially for volunteers and you know, whatnot, things like that. What else did I want to mention? Oh, the Rosmini Centre, in case people didn't know, they do translating. So if you've got leaflets and stuff that need translating, I think it's about 8p a word. They can usually turn it around quite quickly. So they managed to do some posters for me really quickly the other week, you know, in like 7 or 8 different languages. So it's just to remember that they're there and they've got that service, and that utilises community volunteers as well. So I think, you know, for places like Wisbech, Peterborough, I think getting things translated is a really nice thing to do. Even if I think people's English speaking is good enough to understand English, I think the fact that somebody's had something translated for them says this service is for you, you're important, and actually why shouldn't people read things in their own language? You know, I think that's often a thing that makes people quite tired out when English is not the first language, constantly have to do everything else in another language. So if we're wanting to get, you know, hard to reach communities, then yeah, that service is there from the Rosmini, and they were really supportive and great. So I just wanted to kind of give them a bit of public praise for the help that they did. And then the other little, well, I'll say other little thing. So there's a social prescribing platform that has been commissioned for the whole of Cambridgeshire. So that's in the middle of kind of being implemented, so that social prescribers, GPs, nurses can make referrals to services easily through that social prescribing platform. I think the beauty for groups like here is that there's the Joy give the option of the data from some of those referrals, so you can get the data of like, you know, how many people referred, how many people attended, you know, the wellbeing scales that the social prescribers have done, that kind of thing. So that's being implemented. We're part of that mobilisation, And there will be some training sessions for community groups and organisations to kind of get them onboarded onto that. But yeah, we'll be kind of supporting with that. So that's really exciting, because that makes, I think, potentially for Fenland, where people haven't got a base and we're not always as visible as where we have got a base. I think that then gives us all a level of visibility and puts us at the fingertips of really busy people that can then just refer at a click of a button. You know, community groups can set themselves up on it, you know, from coffee mornings to chess clubs to, you know, services. People can put in their own referral questions if there's, you know, stipulations. And as well, if services are full or groups are full, they can also put it on there so they don't get any more referrals. So, you know, you won't keep getting calls going, oh, can people come to this, and no, it's full. So there's loads of potential, I think, for us in Fenland, and yeah, that communication thing that I think we sometimes struggle with in Fenland. So that's just exciting. But there's more
That's
to
amazing.
come on that.
That's lovely. And I love that you're an enthusiast for all of us, Jack. It's wonderful the way that you see this picture, because you are, part of your role is to go from place to place, but it's really good to get that account from you. It's very encouraging. Thank you.
Well, this is it. You know, I find it sometimes overwhelming for me to just know what's going on in my little patch, and there is so much going on. So people working in the field, seeing people day to day, how they keep up with everything, it is an impossible task. I do it full time and I struggle. So yeah, I think anything I can do just to remind people that this is there, that's there, oh, this person's doing that, I think we want to be able to do. So yeah, anything that we can.
Check out your website
too. Yeah.
Yes. Check out the How Are You website. It's brilliant. Thanks, Jack. We've come to the end of our hour. As promised, we'll stop now, but I'll make the recording available as well, both to you and to others. And I'll put with it the dates that are coming up for future Fenlands as well, and what each one is focused on. Have a wonderful rest of the day, everybody, and thank you for being here. Bye-bye.
Bye.